Hey y'all, it's Crissy O here from Crissy O's Clucky Chronicles YouTube channel and CrissyOShow.com. Now today's vlog, we're going to be talking about taking our garden to the coop. Something like that. We're going to be feeding our flock naturally and letting them graze across the yard, okay? So I want to thank y'all, number one, for being here. Thank you for being flock stars. I love sharing what we do. I love sharing this fluffy, feathery farm life here, okay? My chickens, ducks, quails, and turkeys, they're munching like it's a buffet. And I'm trying not to trip over them, y'all, because they will get all up under your feet and everything. So we're going to talk about some plants, some grazing tips, and a hilarious duck chase. So be sure, grab your coffee or your sweet tea, and let's dig in. First, let's talk garden goodies. Chickens absolutely love clover. Y'all know that. If you've watched my YouTube videos, you see that my yard is full of clover. Well, chickens love clover because they know, and I know, and you know that it's packed with protein and calcium. So it's kind of like a little vitamin boost for them while they're eating. Now, ducks go absolutely wild for the dandelion greens, which I also have in my yard. Those are rich in vitamins A and C. So that helps keeps their little bills just shiny and so cute and boopable. Now the quails, they can nibble things like millet. It's a tiny grain. You've probably seen, other parrotlets or other people feed their birds or house birds millet. It's just a tiny little grain that's 10% protein, and it's perfect for their little tummies, okay? So you can do that. Now turkeys, they're going to peck at everything. Sunflowers, the seeds from sunflowers give them really good healthy fats. But they also like clover and other things. And if I can, I want to try to get one of my little turkeys to wear a sunflower as a hat. I don't know. I just think that would be adorable. Anyway, I digress. Now let's talk about planting these things in patches, okay? So what you want to do if you're planting them, they say rotate them every 6 to 8 weeks so the soil don't wear out. If you're planting these types of clovers and sunflowers and different dandelion greens, that kind of stuff, you just don't want to wear your dirt out. And the USDA can tell you all about that if you want to learn some more, have more information on it. Now, we make sure that we have plenty of clover in our yard because my hens will literally turn the clover into a salad bar, okay? It's just hard trying to herd them. It's like trying to herd like wild, crazy turtles. It's just hard trying to herd them back to the coop once they get into their open clover salad bar, okay? So anyway, if you're not into free range and you don't want to do that for your flock and you feel more comfortable with them being in large yards, large enclosed spaces, which we do have large enclosed spaces, large yards, then if you want to, you can harvest them with some clean scissors or just pull it up with your hand and just toss handfuls of it out into the yard as much as you want to. You can do it daily, every other day, whatever you have available. You can do that because it's about 10% of their diet, because I can still tell you from experience, feed is still going to be king. So they love the greens, they love all that stuff, but feed's still king. It's just fun, it's educational to watch them eat it, and you get a huge laugh, especially if they're not wanting to get out of the clover. So there you go. Now, I usually let my floofs graze across the yard because that's a wonderful treat. And it helps me twofold because chickens, ducks, turkeys, although not my quail are in their own quail barn. But the chickens, ducks, and the turkeys, they're going to scratch for bugs. Each hen that I have can eat anywhere from 50 to 100 bugs a day. Now that helps cut pests naturally down, but if you're overrun with these crazy ants and stuff like we are, you kind of need, quite a few little flock babies and pecking crew out there munching up their fair share, you know what I mean? But it can cut naturally. You know, it can cut your pests down naturally. So you can look for that to be a positive thing. Now, ducks, they waddle through. They dig holes with their bills. It's so cute to watch. They love eating slugs with those flat bills. Now, ducks, I've noticed, and they've proven this too in many studies, ducks actually can eat up to 200 slugs in a sitting. That's crazy to me. But, I mean, these things got monstrous appetites. Now, the quails, we usually give them greens or whatever, but if you have wild quails, and we do have those too, they're going to peck grass seeds, and then the turkeys, they're just going to roam for grubs, and they've got their big, huge honking feet, and they literally turn the dirt like mini plows. So, grazing boosts immunity with fresh forage. That we all know. So, if you didn't know that, now you do. Now, I let my babies loose across the property. We've got 12 and a half acres. We've got a lot of woods, a lot of things. And they have a lot of area to roam and to do. And thank the good Lord I haven't lost one yet. So that's great. They kind of like to stick closer to the outskirts and the edging of the woods rather than go down and venture out too far from their barn and their coops and all of those things. But they have all these acres of eastern North Carolina bliss. One of the things you're going to have to learn, and you'll learn the hard way if you have any kind of like actual gardens or tomatoes or whatever, fence off the tomatoes. Okay, green tomatoes, tomato plants, those are kin to the nightshade family, and they can make them sick. Now, the ripe ones is not so bad if they're red and they're ripe, but you don't want them to go in there and say, oh, snack bar over here too, and then let them eat something that they don't need to eat, and then they get sick, and then you have this whole, issue with the sick bird. Trust me on this one, okay? Now, one of the cutest things is ducks. You got to be careful because they're sneaky. They will grab anything they see ripe, and if you want to eat it, good luck, because you're going to chase them like a crazy person. They're going to be quacking, and you're going to be slipping in the mud behind them. So just be aware. Now, if you want to use anything like a movable netting or chicken tractor to like kind of guide them, if that's your thing, just keep moving it daily. It's all one big, fluffy circus, but hey, you know what? Whatever. They thrive. They love to graze, and we love to watch them. Here's some little tips just to keep it smooth. So if you're new to grazing, especially yard grazing or property grazing, if you want to start with 30 minutes of grazing and then build it up to a few hours, just do that. Because if you're giving them too much green, it can upset their stomachs a little bit. It can give them the runs. And let me tell you, I ain't cleaning all that crap up out of them nesting boxes in the barn. That just good Lord, it already stinks to high heaven anyway if you don't keep stuff clean. But I'm telling you what, that runny, nasty stuff, you get the idea, that'll gag a maggot, y'all. It just will. So just, be mindful if this is your first time, open grazing, whatever. Just be mindful that it can happen, okay? Now, you want to make sure that you're offering plenty of shade and water spots because dehydration, it's going to hit them really super fast, especially in the summer heat like we're having right now. So you want to make sure that you do that. Now, I've already showed you guys videos on how we did our trash can watering systems using those big, large, trash cans that we got at like Walmart and Rose's. So if you don't know how to fix those big giant trash can watering systems or the giant barrel waterers like we have on property, go back and look at those, and I show you step by step, and I tell you all about how to fix that. And there's also a blog about it too on CrissyOShow.com on the website. Okay, so just be sure that you're hydrating them. And if you have to put a packet of the electrolytes or probiotics in the water, do that too, because we do that as well, especially during the summer, because they need that. Electrolytes are important, and so are probiotics for gut health. There's you another little tippy tip there. You want to make sure that you're rotating the areas to avoid like over picking, because like if you're looking at things and you're looking at research or credible papers and things, there's a really good one on the Rodale Institute. It says that, you know, your grass will regenerate, and says it regenerates soil in 4 to 6 weeks. So if you're rotating them out in different areas of your yard or different areas of wherever they are, then just know that it can regenerate soil in 4 to 6 weeks. Now, one of the things that I do, which, you know, everybody's got failures. Everybody's going to fail at something. Nobody's perfect, and we all have to learn. It's all a learning process. So if you let your turkeys out, like bacon and eggs, those rascals will strut like straight to your flower bed. They're going to rip up your daisies. They're going to scream for attention. You're going to trip over them. You're going to be like, hey, please don't eat my roses. Don't eat my this, my that. Just be aware that turkeys, they just love to go to your flower bed. They love it. So make sure that you're checking for any type of toxic plants like nightshade. If you don't know what kind of flowers or plants or anything that you have in your flower beds, or you've planted something that you think might be toxic, just check it out, because the ASPCA actually will list them as no-nos. It's a learning curve, okay? It is a learning curve. Last thing you want is a sick baby. You know, you just don't want all that. It's not good for them. It's not good for you. And then the stress that it puts on their little body, not to mention it could potentially kill them. And then, you know, you have your vet bills, or your, you know, turkey doctors, chicken doctors, duck doctors, whatever you have. You want to make sure that you don't have toxic plants around that they can munch on or eat. Because I'm telling you, them chickens ain't checking no app on no cell phone to see if this is nightshade or something they can have or not. They're just like, oh my God, that looks wonderful to add to my salad. So there's a lot of benefits to grazing, because there's so many more perks that are worth it. In the beginning, I was against it, because I was afraid they wouldn't come back. I was like, oh my God, I've hatched and hand raised all these babies. I've carried them around in blankets. Everybody has a name. They all have a personality. They're all my little babies with feathers. But let me tell you, I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. And I'm the first to, you know, scream my little horn here at everybody and say I was wrong. So the perks are worth it. The benefits are completely worth it, because you'll actually end up with fewer feed bills, happier birds. You'll have better eggs with deeper yolks from all the green. And if you want to look at it, there's a study from the Journal of Applied Poultry Research, and it shows that grazed flocks lay 5 to 10% more eggs, because they're happier, they're healthier, and they love grazing. They just love being able to free range and graze. Plus, it's very heartwarming to watch them roam around, dig, and just do their little thing. It's so interesting. Some people think it's boring. Like, why are you sitting out there watching them do all these things? Because they talk. They have these conversations with each other. They're so happy. One of my roosters will find a worm for one of the girls, and he'll cluck them over and like, hey, girls, I found you a nice juicy worm. You know, that kind of thing. Of course, when Nanaroo does it, it's always a proposition for him to jiggle, but you know what I'm saying. They chirp, they just cheep, peep, they do all that stuff. It's literally like a unorchestrated farm dance. So I love it. I was against it in the beginning because I was afraid and fearful that they wouldn't come back or something would happen, but I have some really good roosters, and I have some really good chickens, and they do listen. Even though they got little brains that are teeny tiny, the size of my thumb, they know their names, and they know this is home, and they don't stray off too far, so it's not too bad. You'll have one or two weird ones, but other than that, they like to stick close to the barn and stick close to where we have the water placed all around out in the yard and different feeding stations, that kind of thing. And they can always go back into their pen enclosures because we keep the doors open. with that being said, I want you to share your grazing stories in the chat. If you graze and let them free range and all that stuff, just let me know. I love hearing your stories. I love the emails. I love all the conversations and the chats and the comments. I respond back to every single one of them. I also want y'all to know that I heart you great big. Thank you guys for supporting our farm and our floofs out there. The peckin crew absolutely loves it. You guys have been going to Grub Terra and buying the mealworms. You've been getting like the Tractor Supply affiliate links and buying stuff from there. True Leaf Market, Uncle Jim's Worm Farm, and whatever you guys shop for and buy, any kind of discounts and things you guys get, we get a little bit as well, and everything goes back to feeding my family and my babies outside. All my feathered babies, chickens, ducks, quails, and turkeys. So be sure that you're subscribing for more. Go visit the website at CrissyOShow.com. I have $5 recipe books that are there. We've got more ebooks on the way this year. I'm so excited for that. We've got another big giveaway coming up, so I don't want you to miss it. Once we reach 1,500 subscribers on our YouTube channel, if you've signed up for the newsletter, which is free, by the way, on the website at CrissyOShow.com, when it comes time for that, you guys will be the very first ones to get the very next ebook for free. So you won't even have to pay $5 or $7 or whatever it's supposed to be. You'll get it for free. So at least that's something good. I try to help everybody out as best I can and try to be as equally fair as I can across the board. Because picking names, sometimes, yeah, it's nice to pick a name and it's nice to pick a winner, but I don't know, the more the merrier. If I can send something out and give it to all the people who follow us, who've joined us, who subscribe, who watch us, then hey, that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, thank y'all for watching and subscribing. I heart y'all great big. And again, y'all, if you can't be good at it.